Hello and welcome to the very first edition of Serial Trash Talking. We're your hosts, David and Rob, and we're just two fun-loving accountants who absolutely love cereal and love trash talking about sport. This podcast is a creative space for the two of us to share those things that are nearest and dearest to our hearts, and hopefully to get some feedback on your views and your thoughts on topics and cereals. So each week, the way we're going to do this is we're going to review a cereal. We're going to talk about the daily topics in sport, or rather the weekly topics in sport, and have a bit of back and forth. If you have a cereal that we need to try, leave it in the comments down below. But for now, I'll hand you over to Rob.
Yeah, thanks, Da. Thanks for having this idea to have our creative space. It feels like something we do every day as Trash Talk Sport. So why not, get it out there, get our comments together? Because in this wide world of sport, things change every day. There's new information that comes out to keep everybody interested and in a job. Things that we like to go over, because we all love stories and we love the narrative. And the narratives around talking about sport and podcasting. There's a few influences we have out there, much like First Take with Stephen A. and Max and their debating show, Skip and Shannon, talking absolute rubbish on Undisputed, and even to an extent, Colin Cowherd and what he talks about as well. So those are some of the influences. Taking bits and pieces from each person, and you can utilize the good and the bad, like anybody trying to make an argument. So this is us doing our best effort as well.
Yeah, exactly. So today, the moment that I have been looking forward to for a very long time, because I tell you, we are ready to try one of my top 5 favorite cereals of all time. So let us get into it. Today, we are going to be trying the very delicious Honey Maid s'mores cereal by Post. Rob has never tried this cereal before. If you like the 4th of July and you like sitting around a campfire eating toasted marshmallows, then you're going to absolutely love this cereal because it's absolutely delicious. So,
an absolute institution.
An absolute institution. I mean, Americans apparently buy 90 million pounds of marshmallow every year. 90 million pounds. They roast over half of those over a campfire to make s'mores. So, without further ado, let's
cracking. Not only a tasty cereal, but great trivia. I like it.
So let's get that first pour going.
So, Da, what am I looking for here? This is my first time trying the s'more cereal. Is it a taste test? Is it a dry test as well? Is it a smell test?
Well, I mean, it's everything, right? So,
that smell test is definitely
what makes a good cereal. So for me, an important cereal is the dry factor. Can you eat the cereal dry? Does it maintain its structural integrity throughout the period that you're going to be consuming it by? And I mean that's what's most important to me. It's the flavor last. I mean, are you going to get that goodness in that very last spoon? What does the milk taste like?
Dry test, I have to agree. That is absolutely scrumptious. Now, are you a considerate soaker with the milk, and you love the saturation, or what's your technique?
I like to, mix it up a little bit in there. I'm a true believer that you want to let everyone in the bowl get to know one another.
I like your style, DA. I like your style.
This, if I understand correctly, this is your first experience with marshmallows in cereal.
Yeah, that would be correct. They're delicious. Now I know you have been on to me for a while. This isn't your top 5, so I'm thankful to be able to have this experience with you. and for me to finally have this bowl.
Yeah. I love, it really does for me take me back to roasting marshmallows and having s'mores over the fireplace. The graham cracker pieces of cereal are sweet and texturally they remain firm for a good period of time. They do remind me a little bit of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but they're not overpowering the level of sugar that's on them.
They are so delicious, absolutely scrumptious. Wow.
Yeah.
Good structural and integrity as well with the cereal. The graham crackers are holding their crunch, holding their firmness. The cocoa balls are adding nicely, and the marshmallow isn't just withering away.
Yeah.
So very good, very good. Now, DA, there's plenty of news on this week, and what is happening this week is apparently, the biggest game of the year is on. You got the Super Bowl at the end of this week. We have the Chiefs playing the Bucks, and the Bucks are hosting. First time a team has hosted a Super Bowl. Now, what are your thoughts on what might happen, or how might we be entertained this week?
I'm incredibly excited for the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm happy to see Brady back in the Super Bowl. I think he deserves to be there. But more than anything, I'm really excited to see his matchup with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, this is the first time in history, yes, that the home team, that a team in the Super Bowl is playing in their home stadium. It's the first time in history that we see the previous two Super Bowl champions going at it.
Crazy.
And I'm just excited. I think offensively it's going to be an amazing game, and I actually think it's going to come down to the defense and who can get the stops. We have the GOAT. He's the undisputed GOAT. You can't even argue with that anymore. Like, Tom Brady is the greatest of all time.
And it's insane. What the accomplishments he's been able to put together in his career is insane.
Yeah. So I'm really intrigued to see what happens. I'm thinking that, as I said, defense is going to be what it comes down to. But I think, in particular, the Chiefs have a litany of offensive weapons. It's just ridiculous how many people they've got. And to a certain extent, the Bucks have it as well. They've got Godwin, they've got Chris Evans, they've got Gronk, they've got Fournette, and they've got Brady. But I think the person, if you put it down to one person,
that AB, man, that AB is in there as well, isn't he?
And AB, AB. If you put it down to one person, I think Tyreek Hill he's your factor. He's the man that you're gonna have to
genuine game breaker, isn't he?
Yeah, that's it. What are your thoughts, Rob?
Well, my thoughts on it are, mate, in the most general sense, we're going to be treated to something spectacular. Two high-powered teams, we're going to go out there and actually lay it all on the line. All right, you've got the GOAT, and what many are presuming is the baby GOAT. He's had a fantastic start to his career, as you suggest, with his litany of weapons that he has available to him. At the end of the day, you've brought up before about Russell Wilson and a lot of young quarterbacks who had started off their careers great with a lot of great success. And it's about making hay while the sun shines. Right. So he's got to cash in these chips now, because it is extremely difficult to get back to Super Bowls.
Yeah. Definitely.
And not everybody can, what's Brady's percentage? 47, 50% of his career, he spent it in the Super Bowl. So, not everybody's going to have those chances. So you have to make them count when you can.
I think the stat I heard today was, this morning, was that there's a greater chance that Tom Brady will make it to the Super Bowl than there is that Steph Curry will make a 3-point shot.
Just how ridiculous does that sound?
It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
What my head and my heart is telling me. My head's telling me that the Chiefs are going to get up. Strong, outlandish weapons. Mahomes, he's special. And they've got Andy Reid. Andy Reid finally got over the hump last year by winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Now he's riding that wave, that confidence, and the whole team's riding that confidence that they don't know how to lose.
Mm-hmm.
But then my heart's going with the Bucks. My heart of hearts, I want to see TB12 get up and then make sure the old man can show that he can still do it.
Yeah.
So that brings me into the case of, do you lend any weight to this argument being the goat against baby goat, and that if Mahomes gets up here, he's well on his way to being the GOAT, or a loss for Mahomes against Brady will squash this ridiculous argument, as he is undisputed Brady as the GOAT.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because I think what's important to remember is that, Brady won 3 pretty in quick succession, really, didn't he? This game in the history of Brady really means nothing. Like, his legacy is already cemented. He's the greatest of all time. What I think it does for Mahomes is it reminds him who the greatest of all time is, and that he's got some work to do. But I mean, like, let's draw the comparison with Russell Wilson. Like, Russell Wilson was in the same situation. I mean, he was one pass away from winning a second Super Bowl against the Pats. And they missed an opportunity there. And, I think for Mahomes, he's got a long career ahead of him, assuming he can stay uninjured.
Yeah, agreed.
But he has the potential to be great, but he's got to take the opportunities when they come. So that's my thinking. Your thoughts?
Brady to take it.
Yeah,
it's going to be a shootout, 42-37.
Yeah,
you heard it here first.
Yeah, I think Brady will take it as well. It'd be nice to see him to win another one.
Yeah,
so
easy.
The other thing I wanted to point on today we had some pretty exciting news that Jared Goff and Matt Stafford had been traded, and in a blockbuster trade. I mean, I think it was a second-round pick and a future first-round pick. And Jared Goff is what the Detroit Lions have got from Matt Stafford.
Crazy haul.
Absolutely crazy haul. And I'm shell-shocked. I mean, I definitely think Matt Stafford is great. He's had 8 seasons now of 4,000 passing yards. His turnover to touchdown ratio isn't nearly as bad as Goff's. In the past 2 years, has led the league in turnovers. But they're at very different stages of their careers. I think Matt Stafford is great. I think playing for Detroit and never having won a playoff game before, obviously he gets bashed a bit about that. But I think, Jared Goff is still, he's an amazing talent that hasn't yet reached his full potential. And I think from that perspective, Detroit have done incredibly well with getting the haul they did for Stafford. Your thoughts, Rob?
So would that be fair to say you'd think that Detroit has won this trade?
Yeah, I think so. I think Detroit's won the trade. I don't know how much Matt Stafford brings to the Rams offense that Goff didn't. Perhaps a little bit more ball security. But I don't think that LA's offensive woes were all down to Goff. So I think Detroit's definitely won. I think the other winner is the Houston Texans, because it takes off a spot for Deshaun Watson to go to, another trade option there. So, I mean, it's exciting. I mean, the season hasn't even finished yet, has it? And we're sitting up for a massive offseason.
And all of us couch pundits and reporters just having a field day already, and it's not even talking about the Super Bowl. So what more could you ask for, especially in this environment? So if that's what Goff and Stafford go for, what would a guy like Deshaun Watson go for? So there is so much more to unfold. Over the coming weeks, there's going to provide plenty more opportunities for serial, and plenty more opportunities for sport trash talking.
That's right.
But I'm wholeheartedly with you as well that as we look at it right now, Detroit has won this trade. They've got the picks. They've got Goff. And the only way that we see the Rams winning that trade is that Stafford takes the Rams back to the Super Bowl next year and probably winning the Super Bowl. They've already had the number one defense. They just got to put some points up on the board.
Yeah,
that feels like what they're missing. So if he can do that, then hey, what are three? Well, we know that they gave up Jalen Ramsey for next season, and then the next two for Stafford. But if Stafford's your quarterback for the next 3 years, do those first round picks even matter? So, at the end of the day,
it's interesting.
Fine lines. DA.
I think it's setting up to be an incredible 21-22 season.
Dak is staying put, mate. Is that what you're getting at? Dak is staying put.
I heard rumors that Deshaun Watson's going to the Cowboys and that Dak's leaving.
Well, he wants to be recognized for his greatness, so everyone goes to the Cowboys, mate. America's team, man.
Hear this rubbish.
Well, I think a good bonus would be to, you've got your Pats beanie on now, but I did hear rumors that you had a Bucks beanie in the post. So,
absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish. How did we feel about the s'mores? What were your thoughts? I mean, is it the first time trying it?
The whole process, mate, from opening the packaging to getting the first waft of beautiful smells come through, the amalgamation of flavors between the graham crackers, the cocoa balls, and the marshmallow molded together beautifully. The dry test was delicious. Each portion, good textural, held together nicely. The addition of milk, especially with the folding and combining of flavors and the saturation levels, they work together nicely. So each mouthful was a delight, and especially pleased with how long the graham crackers lasted, with the texture in the milk and the consistency of the marshmallow. So those were huge, mate. For the s'mores, I have to give them an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
They've ticked a lot of boxes for me and what I like and what I enjoy. And there's that Moorish factor where you can't you can't get enough of them.
Yeah. No, I'd have to agree with you. Structural integrity. The milk afterwards has been absolutely delicious. Everything worked together really well, and it wasn't just a bowl of mush. I mean, the flavor was brilliant. I'm going an 8.5, and it's still very much cemented in my top 5 list of cereals. And as Rob alluded to earlier, next week, Frosted Flake Lucky Charms. So we're bypassing the original and we're going straight to Frosted Flakes. So get on board. And it could be a post-game review of the Super Bowl, and possibly some more trades in the NFL or the NBA.
Exactly, mate. Hey, look,
so much
these are governed by so much news. I definitely knew. I didn't have any idea to wake up this morning and see that Stafford's going to the Rams.
Yeah, so, absolutely amazing. But
what is going on?
As we draw this to a close, do you agree? Do you disagree? There's a lot going on in the world of sport and in the world of cereal. And if you've enjoyed our video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment on some cereals you want us to try next. If there's some sports topics you want us to talk about, or if you've got opinions on anything we've said, please leave us a comment, and we will take those into consideration for future episodes. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us for the very first episode of Cereal Trash Talking, and we will see you next time.